is it now, the bronze medal match. GB against Germany. Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre filled with very nervous GB fans. Which team will turn up? They were very nervy last night against Belgium. They're up against the Olympic champions Germany, fresh from a 7-0 thrashing of Korea. Let's join our commentary team, Simon Mason and Charlie Britton.
The penultimate match of the Men's Hero Hockey Champions Trophy, Game 17. It's Germany against Great Britain. The reigning Olympic champions up against the host nation. And the two umpires, Jakob Meslik on the left of screen from the Czech Republic and Lim Hong Zhen of Singapore, lead the two mascots out onto the park. There are the two captains, Barry Middleton and Florian Fuchs. Germany with such a good record in this competition. They played in 32 of the previous 35 editions of the Champions Trophy, and they have medalled 23 times as Germany and 9 times as West Germany. They really do enjoy this one. Great Britain have played in 16 of the previous 35. They only have 3 medals, a silver in 1985 and 2 bronzes, 1978 and 1984. So it's been a while since Great Britain have been on the podium. Can they do it here today? Right, the national anthems of both teams, Germany's first and then Great Britain's.
And please, ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for the national anthem of Great Britain.
So Germany, who have won this competition 7 times, finished runners-up 6 times. 2 times they've won the bronze medal, 1990 and their last bronze medal back in 1996. Smiles all round as Barry Middleton leads his side along the German line. Let's have a look at the two teams, starting with Germany, and Nicholas Jacobi is back between the sticks. Tobias Valter having played in the 7-0 thrashing of Korea. They've got 3 of the top scorers in the competition, Germany, Tobias Hauke, Tom Grambusch, Matt Milkout. And Great Britain, well, they'll know all about their opponents. They too have one of the top scorers in the competition, number 7, Ashley Jackson. David Ames, number 30, scored his first Great Britain goal. That means just Mikey Hall is the only player in the squad not to have scored for Great Britain. Here are the substitutes. The likes of Gommel and Stabe at the top there for Germany will support the attacking line. Simon Mantell was track-suited up against Belgium for Great Britain. Will he play a part here this afternoon? So, the last match for both teams. Great Britain, who fought back so valiantly against an imploding Belgium yesterday evening, led by that man there, Barry Middleton, who was, as I called him in commentary, Captain Fantastic yesterday. Really led by example. But Germany, having got themselves into this bronze medal match, will be a different proposition today. They'll be really up for this one, as will Great Britain. And it is Great Britain that get us underway in a change of strip for them. The white shirts and blue shorts, red socks. Germany in black with the white bottom half. And alongside me in the commentary box for this one, the former Great Britain goalkeeper, three-time Olympian, Simon Mason. And Simon, a better start there from Great Britain already.
Well, yeah, thanks, Charlie. Throwing the ball high to try and put some pressure onto the German defence, and they're going to have to do that, not just from the pushback, but for a long period of this first quarter, to set their stall up high. The momentum for Great Britain possibly just falling away slightly compared to where Germany have been going these latter couple of games.
Hauke trying to take it when it's Great Britain's ball, and it's spread out to Ames on this right-hand side. Dixon trying to give him some support. Turned on. Here is Dixon now. Dixon with his head up, plays it back into the circle, gets the foot, early penalty corner. Much, much better start from Great Britain compared to last night against Belgium, and they have the first penalty corner.
Yeah, lovely little overlap from Dixon. He's committed to it. Sam Ward finds him beautifully on the layoff. Dixon looking up, trying to find back post. Unfortunately for the Germans, there's a foot as it goes across the middle of the circle. Tom Rambush stepping in, but it's Korn in front. Right foot in the way of the pass across the circle.
And you can see Great Britain's trophy record against Germany, not too good. No wins from 9. But Jackson is at the top of the circle. And it is Jackson. Reflect, that's good running by Hayner, but it's another penalty corner.
No surprise that Hayner gets on top of this. One of the best #1 runners in the world at the moment. Isn't jumping out of the way. He's taken that on a shin pad. He's running a straight line, but the pitch is playing a little bit heavy with the rain that we had beforehand. It'll just take a fraction of a percentage off the speed of the injection, allowing the #1 runner to get that extra half a metre close.
Ward and Jackson have swapped over. Jackson to the right-hand castle, and that's a fine save from Jacobi.
Two balls, Lynn.
That's a fantastic save. Out to the top. Jackson, as you said, Charlie's gone to right-hand castle. He pulls it round the #1 runner to find the top, and that's top edge of Jacobi's stick over the crossbar. What a pick.
Guys, all of you, yeah? Don't be silly now. It's okay.
Ames to Jackson, playing into the circle towards Catlin. Catlin on the reverse stick, off the post and back into the face of goal. My word, what a start from Great Britain. How close is this?
Well, Catlin's absolutely smashed this, kept it dead flat. He's beaten Jacobi. That's the front edge behind. He gets the back of his kicker on that. Actually, a great save in the end. It was almost past him when he just flicks a heel out.
Just takes the outside of the kicker. And that's two fantastic saves in the opening 2 minutes from Jacobi.
Yes, just as before that, it's pinged out. Great Britain unlucky, because I thought that might have caught a German defensive foot, but it doesn't quite fall onto Brogdon's forehand. Well, that kind of execution from Catlin. So as the Germans pause, the Germans come forward,
Yeah,
Charlie.
here's Rubente playing it on to Hertzbusch. Hertzbusch looking for support, head up, and has Korn to his right. Here is Korn, drops it out to Hauke. Wimfeder slaps it in. Catlin gets a stick to it, and then it deflects away to Ali Brogdon. Brogdon, no one up in front of him, so he has to do it by himself. Comes back in field, finds Catlin. Catlin has two in front of him, and he can't find either Middleton or Ward. Brogdon rolls it in, looking for Middleton, but there wasn't enough pace on the pass.
You've got to credit Lim there with great advantage, because there was the collision in the midfield with Catlin. As he went down, the ball fell out to Brogdon, and Lim very aware that Brogdon had carry forward and passing options still in that passage of play, so allowing things to go on.
Umpire Lim Hongzhen from Singapore got call up for the Olympic Games, a late call up for him, but speaking to him yesterday, and understandably very excited to be heading off to Rio, where the hockey competition gets underway in 50 days' time. Seven weeks today, the opening ceremony, as Hauke runs forward. That's a lovely ball from Hauke. Dika trying to get it across the face of goal, but it's turned behind.
I mean, just keep an eye on number 12 of GB.
Long corner, taken by Rabente. Into
Inside.
Brogdon.
Inside, good.
Well, Hauke now without the passing options from Rabente. Rabente was set up behind him just moments ago. Now he's going to have to do something himself. He's going to have to move that ball laterally just to play it away. Good lead back to the ball.
Just outside.
Stay wins the free hit. Ping back in. Fox gets half a stick on it. It's fallen to Korn and brought out by Hoare.
Hand play.
Trying to take the ball to the air, as we've seen on a number of occasions, trying to come in around the right-hand side. As we come in, we see Jacobi. This was the earlier one. Watch the right heel flick. That flick is exceptional. He couldn't have seen much from Catlin. His weight's a little bit on his heels, but just moves his right foot enough to get the connection onto that post.
Well, it doesn't matter how you keep him out. You keep him out. And for me, Simon, alarm bells ringing from that performance he put in here against England as they were then for the European Championship semi-final, which he mentioned actually in his pre-match interview. 2-2 after the full time on that day. Germany winning 3-2 in the shootout. Lovely ball. Chance here for Martin. Martin driving to the head of the D. Wins the free hit.
And he had Weir, he just had to pop it. As the second tackle got Martin. He won the free hit already, but it is better from Great Britain. There's more of an interchange between the players. It feels less individual than it did in the early exchanges against Belgium.
Here's Hoare. Lewis. Hoare once again. There's Jackson. Jackson will just drop it out again. Germany happy to sit on the halfway line. Give Great Britain the ball now. Fuchs and Hauke push up. Trying to cut off the back 2 or 3 GB players.
When he's playing with the backside of the stick, it's a foul.
Jakob Meslik and Valentin Altenberg just having a quick chat. Lewis. Long corner.
Yeah, the quick chat was about back sticks versus a reverse stick, an edge tackle. It's such a fine line in real time. We've tried to talk about how that skill is executed, but it's just how much it's turned over. If the wrist isn't rotated enough, then the back of the blade comes into action. But it's half an inch difference at sprint speed.
Hoare to Sloane, who's lost possession. Here is Zvika. Zvika up to his skipper, who's Fuchs. Fuchs back to Zvika. Zvika to Lewis. Here is Valentin Altenberg. Johnny Sunshine. As are we all. Is that the foot from Hauke? Yes, it is. Jackson.
Jackson getting bullied out of it slightly, stayed perfecting the first foul. Nothing wrong with what Vinfeder did. He was tracking Jackson.
Captain!
I must go for the captain, but I'm not sure the captain of which team.
Captain Germany!
There you go. Captain of Germany, Florian Fuchs.
Well, I'm wondering if this is going to be something to do with the coach.
That's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
There's a green card been shown
One
to a
out.
player who's already
There's one
off
out,
the
Toby.
pitch. So Halka
We
as
need to take one
captain
out.
has to step out.
One player out.
Who's going to go? Jakub Meslik.
The captain,
No.
Halka, he's taking the hit and he's calling. He stepped
Hold on,
He
hold
stepped
on,
off
yeah.
to substitute.
Hold on.
Yeah, so coming
He's
off
out.
is Rothlander.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start.
And
Start.
so Germany now down to 10.
I have to say, I think during the course of this tournament, Jakub Meslik has been the umpire who's been the strictest on the discipline. The teams have been told that they can't crowd the umpire, they can't talk to them as they go past in a disrespectful manner.
Make it a 5 there. Yeah,
Well,
maybe
Florian
that one's
Fuchs,
good.
there you go, sitting on the naughty step, but as he was already off the park, he takes the hit for one of his teammates, and well, it's Rothlander is been withdrawn. So Germany down, either way, Germany down to 10 for 2 minutes.
And amusingly, I've actually seen a picture of a club in Australia who have put a chair with a sign above it that actually says the naughty
Play on,
step.
play on!
Shot from Condon. And I
What a
think
save.
Jacobi has come up with another blinder. This time off Gleghorn. Ball in from Condon. And, well, what a save this is.
Well, Jacobi's just read that. You have to anticipate as a goalkeeper what might happen in front of you. He can see the congestion, therefore you just have to be big, put your body in the way. He's attacked the line of the pass, but because he's got the foot there, the deflection then in front of him hits those big blue pads.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the show when we looked at the reserves or the replacements, Simon Mantell, who was track suited up against Belgium. Would he play today? The answer to that is no, he's not going to play today. GB are playing with a 16-man squad to prepare for the Olympics, but for Mantell to miss 2 consecutive games, that probably suggests that he's injured. They wouldn't rest him for 2 games consecutively, would they?
I wouldn't have thought so. You've got to you've got to think there might be a suggestion of an injury there, and a lot of these teams are protecting players. If there's a little tweak, they're just not going to risk exaggerating that. If this was the bronze medal game for an Olympics, then you would risk somebody going out, even if you've got a bit of a tear, and making it worse, but not at this stage of that preparation.
Yeah? A warning now.
Lewis into Ames. Catlin. Nice work from Catlin away from Zwicker. Back to Ames. Ames plays it into the circle. Gleghorn can't get enough oomph from the shot, and it's cleared by Dika, who's now got the captain's armband on.
Well, I don't think Gleghorn knew how much space he had. It felt like that he had time in the circle. He's picked it up and he tried to rotate round on a drag push. He could have stopped it, stepped and hit it.
Fuchs gets the ball back. Fuchs driving into the circle, still going. Fuchs gets the shot away, and that is off the post from Florian Fuchs, but a real opportunity for Germany. The Great Britain defence just opened up, and Fuchs couldn't find the corner.
Well, in the end, it's a relatively weak shot from Fuchs, and he'll be disappointed because I think he rode 4 tackles in the build-up play to getting that shot away, but just wasn't able to get enough power on the push.
Ferk brings it down. Ferk to the edge of the circle, and cutting it out is Martin, who finds Lewis to Catlin. Catlin with a little look up. Drops it out to Lewis. Had to stretch to bring it under control. Good ball from Lewis to Condon. Condon. Running down a bit of a cul-de-sac, but...
That's where Fuchs pops inside. Sorry, Charles, pops inside, rides the tackle. Jackson goes completely the wrong way, but doesn't get through it. It's that postal pinner's toe. To his ball, that's heel. He's launched at that. His weight's a bit backwards, so his toe is raised, but he's driven his heel through enough to get the touch.
Good tackle, good tackle.
Stay with your man is the call. And it's dropped kindly to Milkout. Play on, Milkout. No real advantage for Germany, but I guess too much time had gone. But they've got the sideline ball. Milk out into Hauke. Backstick surely. Yeah, called. There you go.
Yeah, great spot, Charlie. You can tell from the trajectory of the ball when it pops like that. The problem is the players actually, when they try and take a little bit of pace off it, as Hauke did, to control the ball into the circle, the swing speed changes and it all feels a little bit odd, which is why sometimes you see that slower ball popping up.
So, just over 2 minutes of this bronze medal match at the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy for 2016 remaining. Still Germany 0, Great Britain 0, but Jacobi's made 3 excellent saves, Pinner's made 1, so there have been chances at both ends. Sloan.
You do feel from both sides it's just been measured at this moment in time. Yes, there have been those opportunities, but it feels like there's probably another couple of gears that either side could find when they need to. They're just testing and probing, trying to find holes in the defence. I feel that Great Britain have carried the ball better.
Now here's a chance for Dixon, driving into the channel, push on Catlin, and Korn is going to get himself a card as well. A green card for Oliver Korn.
Well, I'm not sure that you can object to that at all. As it comes in, he's popped it. Dixon, and beautiful layoff from Jackson. Dixon's come in and laid it off to Catlin. Catlin's taken the hit from Korn. Not sure you can refer. Has he gone?
I think Bobby Crutchley wants a penalty stroke. Well, you can see why.
It had gone to the big screen before a player had called it, I think. Which is why it can't be referred, but it was definitely a big hit from Korn.
So, can Great Britain convert this third penalty corner? Goes to Jackson, there's a switch, Ward completely fluffs it, it's still there for Great Britain, and it's a free out.
Yeah, Ward just didn't catch that at all, Charlie.
And here comes the counter-attack. This is Milkout, and Milkout dispossessed by Henry Weir. Good defensive work from Henry Weir. Bobby Crutchley, pretty convinced that it was a stroke.
He was certainly asking for that. It's that fine line, isn't it? That contact in the circle between what's considered to be a deliberate foul. It certainly looked, absolutely, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to play it both ways here. It certainly looked pretty messy from Korn, definitely.
Here is Ward again, and he's upended. And Great Britain certainly playing with a lot more intensity than they did, say, in the first match against Germany, or indeed against Belgium last night. Condon with on the top, and that's another fine save as Ward tucks it under his shoulder. But it was straight at Jacobi. Takes his tally up to 5 saves now, and what a time that would have been to score as we tick towards quarter time. That is the quarter time hooter. Well, what an opening 15 minutes we've had, and that man there, Nicholas Jacobi, Bobo's had an absolute blinder. He's made at least 5 crucial saves. Pinner's made 1. No score at quarter time. Germany 0, Great Britain 0. Well, it might be scoreless, Simon, but there's been plenty of goalmouth action at both ends. Great Britain will be delighted with the way they've started. The only thing that's missing for them is a goal.
Started with a ball off the right-hand castle. The Jacobi somehow got a top edge. Jackson will be disappointed only because that's an absolute pinpoint flick. The Jacobis produced a world-class top draw save, but he didn't stop there. He manages to get the outside of a right kicker onto this reverse from Catlin, onto his post. It doesn't then fall onto Brogdon's forehand, with Middleton there in shot on the back post, just waiting for the ball to come across. And it just kept coming. It was interchanges for Great Britain that resulted in chance from the edge of the circle. Jacobi getting on a touch from Gleghorn in front of his right foot, but driving forward and dominating that space as he did against England in the Europeans.
Smars all round. Jacobi.
Rest is good. Keep the intensity, keep the pressure, keep the running up. Okay? They run hard, we run harder.
message from Bobby Crutchley all about intensity and work rate.
And for me, that work rate is the off-the-ball work rate. It's supporting the teammate. We saw a beautiful interchange between Jackson and Dixon as they came forward, and that's how they're going to create momentum. Support each other, work for each other, encourage each other. Whereas at the moment for Germany, it just feels a little bit on and off, a little bit hot and cold, and there's no real flow.
OK, let's go down onto the pitch, or just onto the side of the pitch, because Mike's got Bobby Crutchley.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll start, Bobby, by asking you, do you think that was a stroke? Your reaction lent it that way, that push on Catlin?
Yeah, well, we had a conversation. If the ball's miles away, then it can be just a personal penalty, even though the umpire sees it as that. But the ball was on its way to him, so if he sees it as a personal foul, which is deemed of a card, it really should be a penalty stroke in the circle, because it's a deliberate foul.
You're getting your chances, though, aren't you, in the game? You must be happy with that.
I'm happy with how we're playing. Yeah, we could do with one of them being taken.
Okay. Good luck in this quarter.
Thank you.
And that's really the story for Great Britain, is taking those chances. It happened in Australia when they turned down there for that three-match test series, and it's happened here during this Champions Trophy. It's just finding someone that's going to bag you 5-6 goals, and I'm not talking about penalty corners, 5-6 goals in a competition.
Yeah, in the pre-show, I think Austin Smith and Cedric D'Souza were talking about the opportunities that, whilst the Great Britain defence is one of the miserliest in the competition, they've only scored 9 goals compared to Australia's 18, and they just haven't found that touch in the circle. Crutchley's absolutely right. They've had, what, 5 or 6 or 7 opportunities, 5 cracking saves. They just need someone to pop it in, because otherwise, unfortunately, you and I have both seen this so many times. A team dominates, and then suddenly a player such as Fuchs in our shot at the bottom can pick it up on the left-hand side, cut across 3 or 4 players and find the bottom of the goal.
Here is Jackson. And he gets the foot of Hauke. Here is Lewis. Nice ball to Fox. Fox off Fuchs, who's got the captain's armband back. Dika had it for a moment in that first quarter. Another long corner.
No, it's a good tackle on the foot.
Good tackle, foot against Fox, so it's a ball to Germany. Hauke drops it out to Vinfeder. Here's Hayner. Weir applies the pressure. Brogdon too. Jackson tries to put pressure on the back of Hauke, but Hauke just turns it around the corner to Grambusch, who in turn finds Zwicker. Zwicker up to Fuchs. Fuchs peels away from the tackle and plays it back into Zwicker. That's a great interception from Harry Martin. And here he is again, Martin. Martin just pops the stick round his back and carries on going. Just forward at all times from Great Britain. Brogdon keeps going and then doesn't get the call.
Well, we heard him in our headsets. Joe asked for the first one, felt that the hand in the back had just given him a little bit of a nudge as he was running forward. But just moments ago, the Germans showing how dangerous they can be when they get the same flow. Fuchs picking and rolling in field, just laying it off in stride.
Hayner to Ferg. Ferg drops it out to Hauke. Grambusch. Zwicker. Dika. Hayner. Grambusch weighing up the options, goes the aerial route, tries to find Fuchs, who just brings it down so comfortably. Middleton again with some excellent work, wins the free hit, which Martin will leave for Lewis.
Well, one wonders whether the emotional energy that Great Britain expended against Belgium last night. You and I have talked before, Charlie, about the atmosphere in this stadium. Barry Middleton after the game talked about how the crowd urged them on in those final 6 or 7 minutes. But right now it's apprehensive, it's so quiet.
It's as it was the other night when they played against Germany, just very, very quiet. You can comfortably hear the players talking to one another on the pitch. Rebente. The crossfield ball picked up by Stabe. Stabe with Sloan in pursuit. Stabe drops it out to Hayner.
That's a great dummy from Hayner. Absolutely sells Condon that the ball was going across to Grambush and then can drive down the right-hand side to find a passing lane.
Korn rolling it into lovely bit of skill from Hertzbush. Hertzbush still going and away from Dixon. But Tim Hertzbush is having an excellent tournament here for Germany.
Very, very well down that left-hand touchline to drive in.
Dika rifles it in, and Hertzbush not too far away. Everybody misses it.
Well, as it gets drilled in, unfortunately, again for Great Britain, both of their fullbacks, now we see going down the baseline. Hertzbush just pulls it back away. There's some twinkle toes defending, players getting their feet out of the way. Dixon not letting it hit his feet to give away a corner.
Here is Fox to Hoare. Lewis. Hertzbush off in pursuit of the Great Britain number 24. Plays it back to Hoare. Sloan. Lewis, two touches, one to control, the next one up the line to Catlin. Catlin up against Vicker, still going Catlin, drops it out. Dixon busy, wins the free hit inside. Was the call, Jackson takes it inside. And goes out to Lewis.
Play on, play on!
Yeah, Hoare pausing, good choice, Michael Hoare, not to drive it in from there. It was a great takedown from Lewis, but in doing so, he looked up and he'd set himself on the same line. And we've talked so many times about when a fullback gets it and they've got high up the pitch, change the line before you go direct into the circle.
Condon, touch just lets him down, so he has to go back to Hoare. He would have tried to set down Foxaway if the first touch had been good. Gleghorn wins the free hit. Great Britain applying pressure, being busy. Jackson rifles it in, no one gets a touch. Jacobi lets it go in, it's a 16.
Henry Weir, the intended target, as Jackson drove it in, but it was just a fraction off the deck. As we come forward, Jackson's eyes are up, the ball carrying position, left foot forward, drives through, but just that little lift means Weir, centre shot now, can't get a touch.
Vinfeder with Gleghorn on his back. Rebente. Good tackle. Sloan's foot gives Germany the free hit, which Rebente will take. Hayner. Dika. Korn. Lovely skill from Korn, wins the free hit. Little look up, feeds it into the top of the circle. Hertzbush, Stabe, and Catlin with an important tackle. Stabe still in the danger area, fires it across, side netting. Milkow trying to turn it past Pinner, but he can't beat the post.
Well, it looked like it came off a foot at the edge of the circle. There was no appeal there. I thought it hit a foot. It goes bobbling out. It's a great tackle from Catlin. And as it comes across from Stabe, Milkow leads into it, gets a touch, a lovely little touch in midair, but puts it into the side netting of Pinner's goal.
Gleghorn up against Vinfeder. Gleghorn hits the deck.
A super paired defence. Gleghorn rolled off Hauke and Hayner, and pulled in field. Took himself up to Vinfeder, and then Hayner coming back in. Just shows how important it is to cover each other as sweeper and fullback.
Dixon. Hoare. Dixon once more, Ames on the run. Here is Ames. Ames with time to make the cross. And it's fallen to Gleghorn, lays it off to Middleton. And Vinfeder is there to get it out of the danger zone. More good defending from Germany, but more good attacking from Great Britain. But once again, it's another opportunity where they can't find a shot. Dixon, what a last-minute tackle that is from Dika.
just exceptional, because Lewis had dragged the defence infield to feed to Dixon. Superb control from Dika on the deck to just get enough on the ball.
Hayner. Rabente.
Yeah, I have 3 guys here, so... I've seen it.
Grambush. Well, he's been turned over. Ames with some good pressure. Ames driving to the circle. Ames on the reverse stick. Pulls the trigger, but Grambush is there to get a stick on it. But good pressure from Ames. Good pressure. Good collective pressure from Great Britain. And a little slip on the far side. And Sloane's going to have to work hard to get back here.
Does work hard, Charlie, gets all the way back into the line. It wasn't pretty because he didn't get his stick in the right place, but just get your body between your opponent and the ball and where he wants to pass it, as Sloane did after that mistake.
Dika. Middleton across, can he keep it in? No, he can't.
It's yours there. Yeah.
Fuchs up against Middleton, the 2 skippers. Dika. Hauke. Space on the right-hand side for Germany if they can work it there. Hayner. Dika. Dika cuts in field and taken down by Brogdon. Lovely turn from Oscar Dika.
That was superb. It put Brogdon on his backside, but both umpires very smart, seeing how the player had moved in the tackle. Dika also not reacting at all. He'd seen that Brogdon would go to ground, so there was nothing malicious about the contact.
Hayner. Hauke. Dika. Hayner.
Just feels like Germany are just holding the ball. It's almost like there's some tactical plan. You know what? Great Britain are working incredibly hard. They haven't broken through, though. It's still that 0-0. So we'll just hold it. Let's make them continue to work. Let them continue to work.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they'll flick a switch and they'll find 3rd and 4th gear.
Does feel a little bit like that. Especially with all that emotional, physical energy expended last night against Belgium to try and get the win that would have seen them in the gold medal match.
Just outside.
Ward gives away the free hit just outside the Great Britain circle. It was around this sort of time in the pool match that Germany scored from the penalty corner. That's Florian Fuchs' move. Fouled by Fuchs. And here is Catlin. Good tackle from Vinfeder, who finds Fuchs, who's up against Martin. Florian Fuchs drops it back, and it's fired into the circle by Rotlander.
Happy corner. Good.
And it's a penalty corner.
Great Britain had got the ball, they'd come forward, they carried it forward, it seemed like they had space, but it was a brilliant tackle from Vinfeder that created the opportunity.
Well, Pinner, who's been a spectator for most of this match so far.
Guys, we have 10 seconds. 10.
Minutes earlier than the pool match. It's Hayner and Vinfeder at the top of the circle. Vinfeder number 4, Hayner number 6. It's Vinfeder. Does that get the outside of the post?
To me, that looked like it went wide. The umpires are talking.
Okay, so guys, we go for the long corner. Calm down.
It's a touch off the runner, I think.
No,
That's off Pinner?
I think it hits the post.
Yeah, you see, I don't think that touches anything at all in terms of it being an English contact to give away the long corner.
Just the sound, it sounded like the outside of the post. The stick doesn't make the sound that we heard. But it was mighty close. Pinner was sprawling to his right-hand side.
Well, Pinner had absolutely gone to it. He ended up his right glove, never mind his stick was outside the post.
Straight onto the foot of Milk Cow.
good pressure from Dixon as he stepped forward. As we click down towards half-time now, Altenberg is not going to be happy, I would suggest, with the simple intensity of his team, but you would have felt against Great Britain they'd have been on the front foot. They took 7 past Korea, so they were certainly playing with great fluidity and potency going forward.
Play on. Condon, I think, wanted the free hit for a little shove by Firk, and he just heard no, they come on, umpire. Drops it out to Dika. Heine. Oh, Heine turning into trouble. Dika is going to thank his teammate for that pass.
That's as far as you go. All right, yeah, that's as far as you go, Hannah. Just to let you know,
Vinfeder to Fuchs. Fuchs up against Tor. Those two will have a ding-dong all afternoon. And Bobby Crutchfield was complaining about where it was taken. It wasn't stopped. That's a lovely pass. Now Middleton has Ward in the middle. Middleton up against Heine. Fires it across to Ward. Can Ward get it out from underneath his feet? Shots wide! I'm sure he'd have wanted a penalty corner rather than trying to get the shot away with his leg being hooked.
Yeah, it was a brilliant forward ball from Hoare, who'd battled with Fuchs. He finds Middleton, who picks, turns and finds Ward. But as he comes in, you're absolutely right, Charlie. As we see the ball go in, Middleton gets a little nudge. Ward gets at least 2. Feet are hooked. If he'd gone to ground, you'd have felt he'd have got the corner quite easily.
Well, he's just having a word with umpire Lim as he leaves the park, but at half-time here, it's been an exciting bronze medal match, but no goals to tell you about. Germany 0, Great Britain 0.
Yeah, we're with Barry Middleton involved in that last chance. Good way to finish the half, Barry.
Yeah, good start and good finish to the half. I think it's something we said after yesterday. We want to get into the game early on. I think it's been a good first half. Just 2 good teams fighting against each other, and we're going to battle to get the win again.
What gear would you say you're in right now as Great Britain?
7th.
7th.
All depends on how many gears you've got, doesn't it? Might be 7 out of 10, we don't know, but that was a fantastic performance from GB. Much better start and a much better finish than they started their first half against Belgium. It's still 0-0, all the action after the break. It's the final day of the Champions Trophy, and we are right in the middle of the bronze medal match. It's GB against Germany, old foes, and it is just as tight as we expected to be. GB getting the better of the opening exchanges, but both keepers very, very busy. So these are the match stats, 0-0. Great Britain having more shots on goal, more circle penetrations, less of the possession, which is quite surprising, but they are definitely, if you have a look at the whole half, on top. Don't forget, straight after this game, it'll be the gold medal match, Australia against India. Earlier on in the day, Belgium beat Korea by 4-3. 3 goals in 7 minutes to come back from 3-1 down. Great performance from them, but at the moment, no goals at all between Germany and Great Britain. Gentlemen, we wanted Great Britain to come out of the blocks, and they certainly did that, Cedric.
100%. They started firing from the first whistle itself. Great interchanging of play, great exploitation of space behind the defense, and I think they were going direct. They were pointing at pressure and going directly towards the circle. That was really showing some great stuff by the British athletes.
Yeah, it's a start that everybody wanted, but sadly for them, and rather alarmingly, there's still no goal.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the story of their tournament so far, that they've had so much possession, not so much in this game, but in the other games they've had a lot of possession. They've got the ball in and around the D, but they haven't been able to finish off their chances. Jacobi, to his credit, has played exceptionally well to keep out a number of their chances.
Yeah. What we were pleased with is the pace. I mean, that is the pick of the save, Cedric. You like that one?
Well, it's fantastic because it's gone from the second castle, going to the top right corner of the keeper, He lunges forward, just touches the stick and reflects it out.
I don't know whether he had much chance with that one. I don't know whether he saw it. It hit the post and sort of went behind him. Very fortunate for Germany there.
Yeah, he gets lucky there. Would have been embarrassed. No goalkeeper likes to be beaten on the inside post, and really quite fortunate to get away with that shot from Catlin.
What has been very refreshing for GB is the chances they've created in open play. It's not just been penalty corners.
That's what they've really been lacking, is scoring open goal chances. That one there was just outside, and a smart touch from Gleghorn, and again Jacobi in the right area to make the save.
I think, you know, if Gleghorn had come just one more step forward, Jacobi had only committed to the right-hand side, would have got deflected the ball in. But, you know, it's hindsight, is easy to say that.
Yeah.
Quick look, because the GB coach thought that this could have been a P flick. There was a sort of a rather controversial decision, but ended up with a card and a penalty corner, but could have been a P flick.
Yeah, I have to say it's a little bit strange from the umpire, in my opinion. If you're going to give a green card to Oliver Korn there for a personal foul, it's strange that we don't see a penalty stroke given, because really it's a horrible tackle. He hasn't even made any sort of connection with the ball. He's just bundled over Catlin.
I agree with Austin completely. I think, you know, he has not gone for the ball at all. He's just gone for the player, knocked him down, shoved him down in the circle. For me, it's a penalty stroke.
Yeah, Germany coming much stronger towards the end of that game. They had a penalty corner just in front of us here, nearly scored. You feel as if they're sort of purring along nicely. They're not really in full gear yet.
No, they certainly weren't in firing at all cylinders, but they had a corner at the end there. I think that was a good save from Pinner. We weren't sure if it came off the post, but to me, he got that save. And really, even though Germany were out of it in the first half, most of the first half really, they still had a chance to take the lead just before half-time.
Well, they've had, you know, more possession in this game, but they got to get into the circle much more. You know, there's no point in having possession if you don't get into circle entries and circle shots at goal. So from them, I think there's more intensity required by the Germans.
Yeah, the captain said, the GB captain said they were in 7th gear. Now, I'm not sure if that's 7 out of 10 or if that's the top gear, but they need to keep that pace up, don't they?
Yeah, I presume it means 7 out of 10, which means they are capable of a bit more, which I think they are, but really they've played so well, they just need to really get that final touch and score past Jacobi, and I think if they get the first one, we hopefully will see a few more from them.
Yeah, but they've got to come out right now. They've got to start all over again, because they don't want to get caught cold again, do they?
Exactly. So, you know, it's every quarter, every half, you just fire all cylinders, start from as it is, the game has just started.
Okay. I'm just looking around here now. That both teams look very comfortable, and I think I can see Mike with a German coach.
Yeah, here alongside Valentin Altenberg. We'll get your assessment from a German perspective on that first half.
Yeah, very good defense lines on both sides. I thought GB started very well. We were lucky to have Nicolas Jacobi in our goal today. But I think the longer we play, the more we had. But so far, I think looks like a penalty shootout, to be honest.
Low scoring affair, or is it going to be a high scoring second half?
No, it's not going to be a high scoring, that's for sure.
Okay. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, he hasn't read the script. We want plenty of goals here. Let's join our commentary team then. Summer Mason and Charlie Brew.
A very honest assessment of the first 30 minutes by Valentin Altenberg, but essentially this bronze medal match boils down to a 30-minute shootout for the medal. And, well, we might have a full shootout should neither side find a score. Jacobi, excellent in the first half. What's he got in the locker for the second? So, Fuchs gets us underway. Germany now attacking the goal to our right-hand side. Here is Grambusch. Up the line, and he finds Hertzbusch. Hertzbusch darting towards the GB circle. Hertzbusch still going. Hertzbusch with the shot.
Is that the crossbar or Pinner's left hand?
It's close. Whatever it is, it's close. Let's have another look.
What a run. He comes in. Fox has to step forward to engage, leaving Milk Cow. That's crossbar. That would have been an absolute screamer. What a shot. Over Pinner's left hand. He can't react.
Dika. Gets away with that. I thought he was almost robbed there by Sam Ward.
It certainly felt like it, and Dika had backed away when the whistle went, knowing that he'd given away the free hit. Umpire Jakub Meslik deciding that it wasn't. It was in Germany's favour.
Heine, Grambusch, trying to find Fuchs. And, Simon, we've seen a lot of Germany playing international hockey, and unless you can find the goals to put them away, you always get a sneaking suspicion they're going to go up the other end and nick one.
Well, they've always just got such exceptional players. Let's pick out the captain, Florian Fuchs, is unbelievable if he picks the ball on the left-hand side and cuts in.
That for a pass to Sam Ward. Ward tries to get it across the circle. Long corner. Catlin. Or Jackson.
Oh, wow, now there's a pass you've got to be confident of giving with Fuchs on an outstretched right hand.
Lewis fires it in, one corner. Which Martin will take into Catlin. Jackson.
Well, if Jackson's going to carry the ball there, Lewis and Hawke have to be really careful because he's carried the ball into Fuchs and Hawke's space, and if he got turned over, that's when they would just counter-attack, and you need to make sure you've got one more man than the opponent in those defensive positions.
Hayner just stepping in front of Middleton to turn possession over Hertzbush, who almost opened the scoring a moment or ago, and Jackson so close to robbing Hauke. It was the initial stick check that's gone against Jackson. If he'd nicked the ball, he would have been okay, but he did just get Hauke's stick.
Yeah, the second phase tackle was okay because he had pulled it away, but you're absolutely right. There was stick contact caused by Jackson going in on that shave tackle from the blind side as Hauke turned.
Next one, Dave.
Fuchs, nonchalant, lovely looking ball to Korn. Korn into the top of the circle. There's, well, nobody running onto it. Here's Rebente. Rebente goes down under the challenge, and Hoare brings it away. Hoare rolling it out to Martin on that right-hand side. He's got Condon and Smith in front of him, and it's the sideline ball.
Germany finding space down the left-hand side and getting across to Dika. He spins. Brogdon can only just get there, but what a pick from Michael Hoare in the middle of the circle.
Staves just played it back to Florian Fuchs. It's a sideline ball, and the sun now shining. It's been an extraordinary week of weather here at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. We've had nearly everything apart from snow. Just doesn't get a touch.
Yeah, Fuchs, look, he leads left row. Dan Fox has lost him, and as the ball comes in, he'd pop one way, then back the other. Superb lesson in forward movement as you drive. The defender sees you moving off one shoulder.
Well, Great Britain have obviously decided to change their tactics of 16 because Simon Mantell's just come on. He was named on the team sheet. Germany yesterday actually didn't name 2 players on their team sheet, so it meant they couldn't change their mind. Great Britain, we understand, wanted to start like that, but they've obviously thought they're going to bring him on. So from that perspective, he's obviously not injured, which is good to see.
Absolutely fantastic to see, Charlie, from Simon's perspective. He's worked so hard over the past, what, 2 years, miserable concussion that laid him out for nearly 10 months.
Martin, that's a back stick.
It's a backside.
Yeah, it was what was it? It was an innocuous challenge playing for Reading, and it didn't even affect him at the time. It was driving home that he had to stop and pull over.
Absolutely, and it did take him nearly a year. It was virtually a year from the hit to his next international match or competitive match. Just knocked him for 6. Charlie, if I may, going back to your comments about preparation for the Olympics and teams running 16 men, you talked about umpire Lim being a late call. Was he the replacement for Hamish Jamson who pulled out? Do you know?
Yes, he did. He's Hamish's replacement.
Yeah, but just to go, we talk about professionalism of the players, but professionalism of the umpires. Hamish Jamson pulled himself out of the competition because he's been training as a commercial pilot in New Zealand for 8 months, away from home, away from family, and decided he hadn't been part of enough international hockey to put himself into an Olympic framework because of the level at which he would need to perform. So the umpires, as well as our officials, really taking everything so seriously.
Dixon to Sloane. Well, if you get on a commercial flight with him as your pilot, you'll get some amusing announcements over the tannoy, that is for sure. Ball across! Bleckhorn can't get the touch.
If they get someone difficult, do you think he shows them the green card and gets to just sit on a seat for 2 minutes?
Great Britain continue to apply the pressure. They've had the balance of the game, but Germany, with the scoreline at 0-0, always a very dangerous proposition. Here is Fox onto the foot of Hayner to win the free hit.
German defence sitting deep. They're not tagging up man-to-man, so when Fox rotates or anybody rotates into those high positions, they can get the ball and then they step out.
All the way across from Fox. Crutchley watching on as Stabe goes down that left flank. Sloane with a jab tackle, but Stabe's got around him. Stabe, Sloane, excuse me, with his hand in the air, wanting the sideline ball, but he's got the hit eventually.
Did very, very well, because what players tend to do now is they're driving down the flanks, is they just position the ball in the back of their stance, so as you're accelerating, it's almost impossible to tackle.
Condon, lovely turn, Gleghorn into the circle, can he forward back? He can! Oh, Jacobi's there again! Jacobi makes the save from Harry Martin. It's going to take something special to beat the German #1 today.
Well, either that or Jackson's going to have to nutmeg him again on a corner, because he stopped everything the other day until Great Britain just fired it down the middle. What a turn, what a turn from Gleghorn on the baseline. Pulls it back on the reverse. Absolutely everything from Harry Martin. It's a beautiful bit of skill from Mark Gleghorn. He runs in, he knows what he's trying to do now. That could have been a corner or a stroke in my book anyway. But Jacobi gets back across his goal.
Now this is Lewis, who's down because of that clash.
Play bully. No, it was not. I blew. Guys, simple. I blew before the ball went there. So let's
up
make
on
a
his
bully.
feet.
No. Yes.
And
bully.
Is Jacob saying we're having a bully?
He says we're having a bully because I think he stopped play because of the injury. So Lewis kind of gives it back, albeit chucks it off the other end.
Well, Lewis is okay.
It didn't look like he got a point of anything, as he didn't get a hip or a knee or anything into his head. Therefore, he'll be up and happy, strong old boy.
Zwicker into Milkout. Hertzbusch on the reverse stick. Oh, that's into the head of Lewis. Now that one, he has got something into the head. That is going to hurt. Well, that just reinforces your point that he's a tough nut.
Well, on the peel here, back on the backhand. Look at this, absolutely wears it. What's that? A minute left. And he's back in for the defensive corner because he's come up off his own stick, which is why he's been penalised. If it hadn't hit his own stick, it would have been classified as dangerous because it's hit him above the knee from within 5 metres. And just to clarify, in case people have seen it come into shot, the physio ran onto the pitch immediately because it had hit his head. But because the physio didn't then treat Ian Lewis, he doesn't have to go off for the 2 minutes that sees in the regulations.
Okay, here we go. It's Grambusch on the top of the circle. Grambusch, Pinner gets the save, but it's bounced up off the keeper, and it's another penalty corner.
Oh, big man Pinner, but he gets down low. Grambusch not getting around the #1 runner. Gleghorn, very clever. Grambusch likes to go wide right and pull it left. Can Gleghorn keep him in front of him? Inside him, sorry.
Lewis looks fine. Grambusch, Vinfeder at the top of the circle. Vinfeder peels away to the right-hand side. Here comes Grambusch once again, plays it along the floor, and there's a little less pace on it, gave Pinner just a little bit more time, but it's still an excellent save.
It is an excellent save. He's got down so well. He's a big man. He's been brilliant all week, Pinner, consistently. We thought he might have picked up a hamstring injury in one of the earlier games, but that seems to have gone. Just consistently making great saves in all the corners of his goal. But what we have seen this week from the top goalkeepers is actually goals conceded straight down the middle. Srijesh, Jacobi, all the guys you would expect to be so consistent. It's been the kind of half shots, the miss hits that have gone in. It's a kiss of death, isn't it?
Zwicker. Zwicker plays it up. Far to Milkout. Milkout up against Hall. Drops it out to Vinfeder. Just under 6 minutes of quarter-3 remaining. Germany 0, Great Britain 0, in the bronze medal match of the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy 2016. The first time that Great Britain have hosted the men's event. Hertzbusch looking for the return. Here is Hertzbusch, still going Hertzbusch, and they've run it round. Beautiful goal, brilliant team goal. The goal scorer is Milkow, but Hertzbusch was instrumental driving down the centre of the GB circle. And we said at 0-0 Germany were a dangerous proposition, and it's proved correct. They're in front by a goal to 0.
Pinner livid. Smashed the ball back, but as it builds up, it's a great little interchange and layoff. Superb 3D skills, absolutely nothing you can do. What a beautiful ball to the air. Hertzbusch picks it, this turn in field, then bounces it over the top of Hoare's stick. In the end, it's Milkow on his nose on the post, but look at this touch. Up in the air over the top of the defender, no danger, no issue. Great awareness to slide it round the advancing Pinner.
Well, Milkow gets his 4th goal of the tournament on the 40th minute to give his side the lead. Here is Middleton. Middleton wants something from Jakub Meslik. Play on, and here goes Hertzbusch again. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Fuchs got support with Stave on his left-hand side. Stave driving to the circle. Jackson comes across. Great Britain have got to be careful here.
Well, they've got to be careful. Middleton did well. He was very, very frustrated by the lack of decision. I certainly felt there was a free hit down that left-hand side. It wasn't a corner call, so there was no need to go to referral. And Jakub Meslik said to Middleton, if you want to go, you can. Great Britain just have to keep composed. There's no need to force anything.
As they were then in the pool match, Great Britain are behind against Germany. They scored their 19th goal of the competition. Goal number 2,995 in the Champions Trophy history, so if we can get 5 more in the next game and a quarter, then that'll be 3,000.
5 more is far more likely in a game Australia versus India for our gold medal match than it is here in this bronze medal game, but I don't think this game's over yet.
Hauke.
Certainly makes it that much harder for Great Britain, obviously, with Germany taking that lead, because the Germans have been so composed. It just feels like at no point have they really had to put their foot down completely. Whereas Great Britain have gone at it right from the first whistle, but not converted the chances.
Well, that goes back to what Austin Smith was saying at the start of the match, is that Great Britain struggling to convert their chances, and Germany kept their heads as they went into the circle and scored a wonderful team goal. Catlin from Fox, long corner.
It's more than 5. Enough. Number 15, 5 meters there.
Someone's 5? Did you say 5? 5-minute green card?
No, number 5, you were not 5 metres. Number 15, he wasn't 5 metres from the free hit as he engaged down the right-hand side. Umpire Meslik, that's very retrospective because the play was what?
Chance! Save from Ward. Ward with a snapshot. Kobe's there again.
What an overhead. Milkow can't get it. Umpire Lim's giving it to the Germans, despite there being 2 Great Britain players. But now we see Ward. He had to go for it on his nose. He is that classic aggressive goal scorer. Will throw himself for everything. So certainly about where the ball is, just with the clock ticking down, it's the last thing that Great Britain want. Hauke will happily let the clock roll down as much as he possibly can.
I've never seen them be so specific about where the free hit should be taken from.
Take free hits from wherever they like with the ball in play, but for that moment, I'll just make sure exactly where it is to the inch and stop it dead.
Zwicker. I think most sides would be doing exactly the same thing.
I'd be right with him if I was playing this stage of the game, and right here, we want to finish the quarter off. You don't want to concede anything, give the opponent any sort of belief or momentum.
Hauke just happy to go back and play keep ball. Dika.
Oh, what beautiful skill.
Oh, he's just lost control, but it wasn't initially a wonderful piece of skill. Here is Ward to Catlin. Catlin has Brogdon in front of him. Catlin cuts back inside. Hayner is there, and Hayner's going to stick to Catlin like glue, and he does well. Korn getting involved again. Meslick just asking them to calm down.
And you do feel as this game drifts towards the latter stages, the umpires are going to be called on to make some big decisions, certainly about players just starting to get aggressive as the frustration starts to build and time ticks down.
Catlin sees the deflected ball, drops it off to Middleton. Middleton somehow, gets the free hit.
I'm not quite sure how, because he'd overrun it. He somehow dug it out from under the toes of his shoes.
Jackson. Now Hayner on the hotline just picks it up and plays it out to Stabe.
Stabe's going to go to the air. There's massive space for Milkow on the right.
Milkow brings it down beautifully, has a little look up to see where his support is, gets it past Horn, then robs Weir, and Milkow, well, doesn't get anything as Jackson brings it out of the circle. Jackson. Oh, that is fantastic from Ashley Jackson. That is absolutely fantastic, and that is the end of the quarter, but Ashley Jackson has just lit the crowd up. Watch this again.
Absolute class. He backs into that, dinks over the two sticks. That is genius at this stage of the game. This is world-class international hockey. One of the best players in the world, knowing exactly what he's trying to do.
Against one of the best defenders in Tobias Hauke, and it almost comes at the wrong moment because the crowd suddenly got involved, and now it's three-quarter time, and at three-quarter time it's Germany who are in front because they've taken the lead in that quarter, courtesy of Marco Milkow. Germany 1, Great Britain 0. So Valentin Altenberg will be delighted with the way his team has stuck at it. They've been under the cosh, Simon, for most of the match, but they have the lead because of this.
Yeah, and it was a great bit of individual skill. Lovely little layoff, popped up, and Milkow finds the bottom corner, but Hertzbruch had carried it in. Tim Hertzbruch sees the return pass, pops it past Pinner to find Milkow into the bottom corner. It's a great little interchange, but one of few for the Germans. Great Britain probably dominating the small passing game, except they're not where they want to be on the score sheet.
I think he knows that his side may be a little fortunate to be in front, but only a little fortunate because they've been behind on the other stats, but not fortunate for sticking with the game plan. Right, let's hear from Bobby Crutchley.
Bobby, one behind. Your thoughts on how you conceded that first goal?
Yeah, just a little frustrated really on the fact that we had some poor individual defending, some good skill, but you know, we need to be better than that. We gave them quite an easy goal in the end.
Where to now?
Oh, we've just got to go all out, you know, we'll go for it. It'll be an interesting class for score, I've no doubt.
Okay, the crowd are behind you, we're behind you, keep going.
Thank you.
Well, let's see if that piece of Jackson's skill keeps the crowd interested at the start of this final quarter. 15 minutes to the bronze medal match remaining. Germany 1, Great Britain 0. Germany looking for a 16th medal as Germany. They won 9 as West Germany. And the chance here, Brogdon, he's got players with him. Brogdon still going, Brogdon, lovely skill. And a penalty corner. Wimfeld, Germany going to claim this was high off Brogdon. Or are they going to refer it? They are going to refer it.
Well, is it a shot on target that close to the defender?
So yes, I blew the penalty corner for GB, because from me it was looking that the German player was playing with the body. He told that he was playing with the glove on his stick. Can you check it for me, please?
Looking to see if it's hit the body or the stick.
Correct.
So, that's the question. Brogdon with the drive.
Well, Popsing, really good skill to pop inside the defence. He's done Hayner and got into the circle, comes up off Grambush possibly, but they can't see it. On the right-hand side of the picture you can't see. Is that glove as he pop out for Wimfeder? Looks like it's glove, and that's glove or handle of stick. So from those pictures, certainly it appears that's not body. That's a good save.
And a good referral.
Yeah, to me, that's obviously... No, sorry, I say obviously, you never know. However, it certainly looks like it's stick.
Yeah, Dion, go ahead.
I have a decision for you. The ball is off the hand, therefore restart with a free hit.
Good, thanks.
Germany get the referral.
So, the right decision, free out for Germany.
But that coming about because the Germans just were a little slow in their passing round the back, and for Germany now to close this game out, it becomes a passing exercise. They have to wear Great Britain down. Crutchley saying that GB were going to have to throw men forward. So Germany just have to make very simple decisions, carry the ball to wide channels, find space.
Grambusch. Dropping it to Heine. Heine out to Dika. Dika goes the aerial route, too high, falls Vicker. Well, these two teams ranked 3rd and 4th in the world. So playing to their world ranking. India, the big gainers in this competition. Korn into Hertzbusch, who's had an excellent game here. Hertzbusch goes again. Hertzbusch to Korn. Pinner's going to have to come. Pinner makes the save. Korn wasn't anywhere near it, but Hertzbusch can't keep it in.
But unreal pace from Korn through midfield. He started 3 yards behind Jackson and finished 3 yards in front of him. So all of a sudden he's got space down the middle of the pitch and was allowing that through ball.
Condon to Catlin. Has Martin going in front of him on the peel round, but Zwicker has the ball. Here is Heine. Heine. Dika. A containing game here from Germany as they try and just wait for that moment.
Ward doing incredibly well to get knocked over and then get back up again to get left hand down on the floor. You're trying to create a barrier in that situation, use the full length of the stick, left knuckles on. As soon as the left knuckles come off the floor, you offer that space to go underneath the stick.
Yeah, good. That's my call. Yeah.
Beventi. Gets it back. Dika up the line to Lewis. Lewis plays it infield. Condon went left, Heine stepped up, and Heine has the ball. Heine looking for the ball into the circle. Hoare has to make that touch because he had two players behind him.
That's two fullbacks with almost identical outcomes on the passes.
Good work from Dika. No. First one, says Jakub Mesnik.
The second one was good, but the first one not.
I'm sure what was wrong with the first one. Umpire Mesnik suggesting there was. Dika went to the floor, but it didn't look like it touched the body at all.
Good work from Fox. Here is Brogdon. Brogdon with Grambusch on his back, and now Stabe comes to help out, and it's a full unit attack and a full unit defence for Germany. Stabe, who plays up the front line, back helping his defenders. Fuchs.
This is the type of run we talked about earlier on for Fuchs. He can pick a ball up on either flank. He cuts infield beautifully. He's got amazing one-hand skills. So we'll take a ball out, particularly on his reverse stick. There used to be a Spanish player called Paul Amat who would do the same thing. Take the ball to air, accelerate on angles and drive to the top of the circle. Fuchs has scored some amazing goals from wide start positions.
Lewis picks up the ball and fires it up to the top. Brogdon gets in the way.
Brogdon needs to keep running to the subs bench. He is absolutely dead on his feet. He's got nothing. He's got no change of direction. He's looking laboured. Needs to be rotated out.
He is rotated out. Mantell comes on. Dika down this right-hand flank. Picked up beautifully, one-handed by Milkout, but can't keep it in play. Here is Mantell. Into Gleghorn. Gleghorn tries to play it back to Mantell, but Hainer is there, and it's just a crowded effort from Germany when Great Britain get in that circle.
Those three defenders around Mantell for the reverse pass. Gleghorn did exactly the right thing. The early ball out from Lewis, finding Mantell, finding that bottom corner. And there is space there because the Germans will back mark and only lead to the corners as a defensive unit when they really have to.
Mantell's given away the free hit, which Fuchs wants to take quickly. Hauke swings it down that left-hand flank. Ferk. Oh, here comes Fuchs now. Fuchs, little spin, tries to feed in the supporting run of Korn, but he can't find him. Here goes Gleghorn. Gleghorn one-handed up against Grambush. Here comes Hainer. Hainer comes across to make the tackle.
And that's
I was going to say he's having an excellent game, Hainer.
Superb jab tackle, so composed. Gleghorn carrying the ball wide left, shielding with the shoulder. Hainer timed perfectly.
Lewis. Dixon fires it across. Here's a chance. And Gleghorn can't get really anything on it. Middleton's taken a knock. And Middleton needs some attention here. Let's have another look at this ball as it gets fired in from Dixon. Wow. Gleghorn never really got a shot away. Middleton.
Sorry, it's a bully. It's a stop. It's stop in the middle. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Just, well, he's holding his shoulder.
No, it's a bully. It's going to be a. And I will be.
So let's hope that's nothing more than a bad hit. We don't want any dislocated shoulders for Barry Middleton at this stage of the proceedings. There's a nod and then the shake, so I'm not quite sure what to read into that, but he's certainly in some pain.
At first instance when he came up, I thought he was holding his knee, which you'd consider to be more serious in terms of his mobility. He's been hit on a shoulder, obviously on the line, so whether there's some bruising that's still been...
On the shoulder.
It won't be that one then.
No, so it was on the right shoulder. Gleghorn, yeah, on the right shoulder against India, wasn't it? That one was on the... Oh, no, it is the right shoulder. It's the same shoulder. Excuse me, Simon. Right, Lewis fires it into the circle. It's just behind Weir, but Ferk was right on him.
It was right on him, but to be fair, was still off his left shoulder, so Weir could have got that if he'd been half a yard further. As he pops in there, that's where you need to be. You need to be in that space, attacking it on the forehand. If you get that blade on the ball there, you're deflecting it bottom corner.
It's a little bit too far in front of the ball. Hauke. Lovely little touch from Zwicker to Ferk. Ferk has a little look up. Here goes Hertzbusch. Trying to run in behind Dan Fox. And we've passed the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Still Germany 1, Great Britain 0. The goal coming on the 40th minute, or in the 40th minute. Beautifully well-worked goal that Marco Milkout put away, but Tim Hertzbusch was the architect. Dixon looking for Gleghorn. No joy.
So
what a ball that is. Zwicker now has support both left and right. Hertzbusch has gone down, and Hoare is... Oh, Condon's picked up a green card.
The deliberate kick off the ball that was considered.
Play!
Charlie, Great Britain pulled their goalkeeper with, what, 6:20 left against Belgium when they needed 2 goals.
Well, they need 3.
They need 3 to win, but they were 2 goals down. They needed 3 to win. So at what point do you think they will pull pin out in this game if they need it? I'd suggest you need to give yourself, I would have said you need to give yourself, what, 3 minutes, I'd have thought?
That's a fair assessment. Vinfeder Ferk can't keep it under control. Well, I don't think they'll pull him when they're down to 10.
Absolutely not. So wait for that player to come back on, to Condon or his replacement to come back in, get up to full contingent of players, and then I'd have suggested then Pinner will be out of play because they'll want to throw that extra man forwards.
Good work from Mantell, but there's nobody there in white to pick up the ball, and it is with Korn. And Germany doing a really good job here. And this will only be their third win in a major international tournament. They only won one in the Hockey World League final. That was against Canada 8-3 and 7-0 against Korea. Otherwise, they haven't won in the last two international tournaments.
Wow, and it's been a very, very controlled and measured win, hasn't it? They certainly haven't gone toe-to-toe in terms of pace. They haven't got committed in counter-attacks consistently. Yes, they've done, what, 3, 4, or possibly even 5 opportunities, but it hasn't been high up the list of the most intense German performance we've ever seen.
No, but Jacobi has been superb. Heine. Vinfeder. Fuchs. Still going Fuchs. Is there going to be another chance for either side? The goal now for Germany, you'd imagine, will kill the game. And they're on the front foot. Hauke has the ball on the edge of the circle. He needs to go 5 before it goes in. It's done that, and that's really good defensive work from Mikey Hoare, who rushes Hauke and wins possession back for his team. Here is Catlin. Catlin still going. Lovely work from Catlin. Catlin up against Heine, who fouls, and Dixon takes it quickly. Dixon fires it across the circle, and it's turned behind for a 16. I think if that had ended up in a penalty corner, it would have been. There you go. I think they are going to change the keeper now that the green card has expired. Pinner off. I was going to say, if that had led to a penalty corner, I think Germany would have referred it, because the ball wasn't stopped for the free hit. Very much like Great Britain referred Germany in the pool match.
Absolutely, Charlie, spot on. It was just so fluid, the interchange of players. I didn't think that the Great Britain players were 5 yards apart either in the build-up play, but it's just, you wonder if that energy that Great Britain managed to muster, they came back from that disappointment last night to come back in. They started so well, but Germany, it's just been so solid and consistent in terms of how they've approached this. They haven't changed tempo at any stage. They've played within themselves. It's got them to a good position.
Jackson up the centre of the park towards Ward. Who got there first? The answer is Grambusch. Good defensive work by Grambusch.
Good for me.
Lewis. There's the kicking back. Who's Mikey Hoare? Lewis once again fires it in.
Oh, so close.
That is very close to Jackson. Back sticking it past Jacobi.
Lewis looks up, he sees Jackson leading, he's drilled it. Jackson tries to pull it back inside himself with an inside edge from right foot to left foot behind him. It would have been an outrageous goal, but you have got to say, Jacobi was still there. Would it have smashed into those pads once again?
Hoare wins possession back for Fuchs, who doesn't give up. Catlin to Hoare. Hoare with 2:24 remaining. Plays it back. It's down with Lewis on the right-hand side. Dixon back to Lewis.
Germany have got to keep their front line and midfield together. They've got to keep them engaged with an extra man. Great Britain will find spaces.
To Jackson at the top of the circle. Brilliant tackle from Milkow, the goal scorer, back making the tackle.
Stunning tackle as he came back. It was a forward coming back into his midfield, right on the edge of his circle, stepping in to help defence.
And he goes for a well-deserved rest. Heine into the stick of Gleghorn. Jackson on the reverse stick, up the park to Ward. Ward into the circle. Ward fires it across. Heine gets his stick on the ground and turns it behind for a long corner. Into the final 90 seconds or so. It's with Hoare. Martin into the circle. Gleghorn tries to win the penalty corner, but it's a 16.
Play, come on, guys.
Nervous moments in the crowd. The ball flung down the park. They want Great Britain to attack from deep. Hoare to Martin. They can't watch in the stand, but it's not over yet. There's still 65 seconds of the match remaining. Sloane back to Lewis, to Hoare, who's got some space now. Can he deliver the ball? The crowd want it in. Fuchs comes across. Vin Fedder onto the foot of Ward, and it's another 16. And they're not going to rush this. And Jakub Mezek stops the clock.
Right here and play.
Good work from Jakub Mezek.
Experienced umpire recognising what was happening, and we said already, Joe, that yeah, absolutely, you would expect any team in this situation to be trying to just eat up valuable seconds. Might be one final chance for Great Britain.
One last throw of the dice. Now the crowd get involved. This is what Great Britain needed about 45 minutes ago. Lewis has a little look up. Fuchs, it comes to Middleton. Here is Hoare. Hoare into the circle on the reverse stick. And the man who's never scored for Great Britain had the opportunity to score his first ever goal. They've got the long corner. Lewis fires it in. It's off Ward. Onto Cleghorn. They've got to refer it. Surely you just refer it into the final second. You refer it.
So what are you asking?
Of course you would.
One. Backstick here. Okay.
They're just asking a question, is this a corner? Doesn't even matter what the question is.
Dion, are you there?
He's checking, go ahead.
So,
okay,
the
GB
bronze
is asking
medal
for, the penalty corner
for Great
for the backside
Britain
of the
rests
stick
on this.
next
So they
to
can
me.
get a penalty corner,
Close
they've
to
got
the
an
baseline.
opportunity
So
to
can you
level
check
it.
please?
Having a look for a back stick in the circle.
Correct.
Germany, well, if this goes the way of Germany, then they win the bronze medal. Let's have another look.
It is a stick, but is it a back stick? There is contact. If we go back through that frame, as the player jumps, the feet are in the air. Leghorn pulls it across Grambush, but as he's gone round, is that the leading edge or the back of his stick? That could be classified.
Well, Sam Ward goes across immediately.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is no clear reason to change your decision.
So there is no penalty corner, and it is Germany that win the bronze medal. It is their third bronze as Germany, combined with their medals won as West Germany. It is their seventh bronze medal, and that man there, Nicholas Jacobi, had a massive game. Hertzbruch, the architect of the goal that was scored by Marco Milkau, but Valentin Altenberg has himself a medal. Milkau there, the goal scorer. He's now the tournament's leading goal scorer with 4 goals. Handshakes all round. Great Britain, well, they threw everything at Germany, but Germany held on, and they win the bronze medal. Final score, Germany 1, Great Britain 0.